The donkey hated the road. Every single step felt like a new punishment, each pebble a personal insult. The load on its back was a constant, crushing weight, a symbol of all the unfairness in the world. So, one day, it just stopped. It stood still and decided to complain. It complained about the dust, the heat, the endless horizon. It complained with every fiber of its being, believing that if its grievances were loud enough, the road itself would simply cease to exist. But the road didn't change. It just lay there, silent and indifferent, stretching on forever. This donkey worked on a long, winding road that cut through the countryside. It was a path many traveled, other animals walked it too. Some moved quickly, with purpose in their stride. Others ambled along, taking their time. They all carried their own burdens, but they did so quietly, absorbed in their own journey. The donkey, however, was different. It had a voice, and it used it. It spoke of the crushing weight on its shoulders, the scorching sun overhead, the sheer injustice of its existence. It held a deep, unshakable belief. If it complained with enough passion, with enough persistence, the road would surely vanish. The hardship would disappear. The world would finally bend to its will. It was convinced that its words held the power to reshape reality, to erase the very path that caused it so much pain. It just had to complain a little bit more, a little bit louder. Then came the day the donkey refused to move at all. It planted its hooves firmly in the middle of the path and let out a torrent of complaints, louder and more bitter than ever before. This road is too long, it brayed. This load is too heavy. Why must I be the one to suffer like this? The sun climbed higher in the sky, beating down on its back. A cool wind whispered past, offering a moment of relief that the donkey was too angry to notice. The other animals on their journeys simply walked around it. A few cast a curious glance back, a flicker of pity or perhaps confusion in their eyes, but most just kept going, their destinations pulling them forward. The donkey remained, a stubborn statue of indignation. It waited for the world to change, for the road to apologize and disappear. But the road did not move. It did not speak. It just remained. As the sun began to set, casting long, lonely shadows across the landscape, a chill crept into the air. The donkey finally lifted its head and looked around. The world was quiet now. The other animals, the ones who had kept walking, were gone. They were just distant specks on the horizon. Or perhaps they had already reached their destinations, settled in for the night, their burdens set aside. But the donkey was still here, in the exact same spot. The road was still there, stretching out before it and behind it, unmoved and unchanged. And the heavy load? It was still strapped to its back, feeling even heavier in the silence. It was in that moment of profound stillness and solitude that a simple, heavy truth settled upon the donkey. The road had never listened. It wasn't capable of listening. Its complaints, its anger, its pain, they were just echoes in an empty canyon. The road didn't care. A long moment passed. The first star appeared in the darkening sky. Then, slowly, with a great, weary effort, the donkey lifted one hoof and took a step. It was a small movement, almost hesitant, but it was a start. Then it took another and another. It started walking down the same unforgiving road, under the same indifferent sky. It didn't suddenly become happy. It didn't stop complaining entirely. The old habits were still there, muttering about a stray rock or a steep incline. But the complaints were softer now, less frequent. They were just whispers on the wind instead of a storm. The donkey complained less, and it walked more. And in walking, it found that the end of the road, however far, was a destination that could only be reached one step at a time. Thanks for watching. If this story resonated with you, consider subscribing for more.